Jim Boeheim, if you're Jeff Capel, you're kind of looking at the landscape saying, chance to go 2-0 in the league going into Christmas break. I think you'd feel good, really good with a win here tonight.
Syracuse coming off the win versus Cornell the other night, 78-63. Here's your starting five for the Orange. The same starting five the entire season. And the opening play is a pass from Gerard. It goes off the mark, looking inside for Jesse Edwards.
Well, as you expect, I mean, they want to play through Jesse Edwards early in this game. Just a bad angle for Joe Girard. Got to be able to make a post pass.
Here's your starting five for Pitt here tonight as the three ball goes up by Nelly Cummings. That's no good. Rebound by Edwards. Here's Benny Williams. Now a three ball, Greg Elliott. That's good. And that's on the board.
That's the biggest difference in Pitt this season versus last. They are making almost 9 threes a game. They're shooting almost 50% of their shots on the year from three. They have really improved from behind the arc, and Elliott is one of those guys, the transfer from Marquette.
Well, you're right about that. He's shooting at 70% from three-point range over the last 3 games as Syracuse goes inside to Edwards.
And that's where Syracuse does its damage. They are at the rim, at the paint, or in the paint rather. Jesse Edwards and Judah Mintz off of the bounce.
Burton pulls up foul line. That's rejected. And then getting it back was Hinson. Nice feed inside. Hinson, the back out. 5 on the shot clock for 3. That one rattles out on the offering from Cummings. This is the freshman, Chris Bell. For 3. And that's out of bounds off of Pittsburgh.
And I think Syracuse is looking for more production, more consistency from Chris Bell and Benny Williams. That forward position, if they could get one of those guys to assert themselves here at some point, that's when Syracuse goes to another level.
That's the thing you were telling me earlier, is they're looking for just another guy. They need one more guy, right? What about Pitt and how long it kind of takes to figure this zone out here and what you got to do on the offensive end?
You know, it's an adjustment as Federico hits there, because you can't simulate it in practice. Syracuse plays a 2-3 zone unlike anybody in the country. You know, Jim Boeheim is the pioneer of that, and I do think Jeff Capel was telling us that much today. You know, there's an adjustment early in these games when you're seeing it for the first time.
Nice clamp down there on Edwards. Pull-up baseline jumper's good by Bell. Yeah, that was the thing. We asked Jeff Capel about coming here, and everybody always says about the dome, you know, inside the dome. And he said, you know, it's kind of more about their zone and the length and who you're playing than the actual environment sometimes.
Well, they've won 3 of the last 4 against Syracuse, and a big reason why is they've been patient offensively, they've pass faked, and they've taken care of the basketball.
Way off on the 3 is Hinson, and we've got a foul. Into the bench goes Mintz. First foul on Federico. Federico, the sophomore from Finland for Pittsburgh. Mintz pulls up and hits and got fouled.
He is so tough. And he's taken about 9 free throws a game. You know, he has not shot it well. He's only 3 of 21 from 3, and teams are short closing out on him. I mean, they are not coming up, and yet he closes that space so well, and he's so good at drawing that contact and finishing off balance. What a talented freshman, particularly when he puts it on the floor and gets it in that orange painted area.
He's really done a nice job as more kind of a scoring point guard. Back in high school, now needs to try to distribute as well. And got a career high 24 earlier this year. This offensive rebound, Hinson. Wow.
And that's kind of what he's done. You know, dirty work. What a find. A guy who didn't play, has not played in a game the last 2 years while he was at Iowa State.
Edwards right down the middle. Gerard on the assist. Long three, Hinson. There's Mintz again. What a crossover.
He's tough. He really is, and he's super confident. I mean, he just believes he should be cooking.
Well, Hinson's going to come right back for Pittsburgh. Syracuse has made their last 4 field goals here. They lead it by 1. Timeout coming at the next whistle. We played 5 minutes so far here in the first half. Gerard dribbled off his leg. And we've got our first timeout of the night.
You got 2 of the best finishers at the rim.
Addition of Blake Hinson for the Panthers.
Yeah, unbelievable person, first of all, and it's a product. I mean, he's a grown-up, and it's a product of the journey. He started his career at Ole Miss. He spent 2 seasons at Iowa State where he did practice, but he did not play in games for 2 years. And you know, I do a radio show every day called ACC Today on Sirius XM, and we had him on the show, Mike, and he was talking. I asked him, I said, did you ever think you wouldn't play again? Did you lose your love for the game? And he said, no, I was going over to a rec center, playing in pickup games, and as Nelly Cummings hits from deep. And I took one visit. I visited Pitt. I loved it so much. They took a shot on me. And as Jeff Capel was telling us today, he just has a real appreciation for being back playing the game of basketball.
I think it's probably kind of hard to fathom, you know, at that young age, understanding what that's like, not being able to do something you love for that long period of time. I mean, until you're really in it, it's hard to understand. And now he's just one of 2 players in the ACC, averaging over 16 points, 6.5 boards, shooting 50% from the field as well. Inaugural Jumpman Invitational in Charlotte that is coming up tomorrow. Hunter Dickinson and Michigan take on Armando Bacot in North Carolina. Coverage tips off at 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. And the app, of course, North Carolina coming off a win over number 23 Ohio State. 8-4 on the season. And we were talking a little bit before as that pass intercepted. Benny Williams has it about UNC. I mean, they've lost some good teams. I mean, Alabama 4 overtimes. Indiana was number 10. We know how good Virginia Tech is, and Iowa State as well. There's Mintz. Trying to fight through traffic. It's a traveling violation.
And that's the one area as teams start to swarm, he can get in there and you know, sometimes you got to live to fight another day. And you know, he had 3 guys around him, and I think he's expecting to get fouled.
2-point lead for the Panthers. Good rotation over to Hinson, who misses on the 3. Offensive rebound, and Hinson finishes after the offensive board by Federico.
What a heads-up cut by Hinson.
Big-time finish. Panthers by 4. Symir Torrance is in, number 10. The ball is kicked out to the wing, and a 3 is off by Williams. Cummings for 3. Pitt is feeling it from the outside. They're on a 10-0 run right now. They lead it by 7. Timeout, Orange.
You know, this is scoring early, too. I mean, that's the other thing when you're playing against the Syracuse zone. If you can get some stuff early. Here's the cut off of the Hinson missed shot. He follows his own shot. Good little find there by Federico, and that's early offense right there. You fail to find Nelly Cummings, who steps into one. The transfer from Colgate. And, you know, that is the big improvement with this Pitt team. They could not shoot the ball into the ocean last season, and they've got a multitude of shooters. It's a really old team, and they are very old in the backcourt.
You mentioned Cummings. Coach Cable told us earlier today, started his career at Bowling Green, went to Colgate. He grew up wanting to go to Pittsburgh. I mean, he went to games when he was younger. He's so grateful. He's now at Pitt. And look what he's doing for this team, averaging over 10 points a game. Doing a solid job this season. And he's one of the guys that's going to make this team go, the graduate student from Midland, Pennsylvania. So far has 6 points. Pitt is 3 of 9 from three-point range. That's the difference in this one. Syracuse is 0 for 3 from three-point range. Both teams are shooting 50% from the field here early. Edwards short. Offensive rebound not there by Malik Brown. Here come the Panthers again. And you got to be able to knock down those outside shots against the zone. I mean, they're doing it so far here early. Here it is again. Hinson relocates in and out. Offensive board. Burton. Bad pass. Torrance. Easy one.
And that's a killer if you're Pitt, because you get another offensive rebound and you just throw it away.
Burton for 3. That's good.
That's
and
why
Burton's in the scoring column. All 5 starters have scored for Pitt. And a block. That time by Elliott. Bell gets it back. 3 to shoot, Edwards. That's off by Bell. Hinson. Good rotation again. Cummings shut off on the baseline. Finds Hinson in the corner for 3. Does it again.
I mean, they are shooting with such confidence. They're shooting over 50% in this game, and that's where, you know, this turnover to Samir Torrance, it kills you, because they have found the ability to make shots. You turn it over, you give Syracuse a run out, give them a chance to score. But Blake Hinson, what a start he's having. Been one of the 5.
From Allen late in the 4th quarter, or early in the 4th, to tie the game. They won on a 25-yard field goal, 32-29 over Miami this past weekend.
You think they prefer the weather here in Syracuse over the weather in Buffalo?
Right.
Is that why they've made the trip?
Trying to get away from it a little bit, up the degrees if you
come to sunny Syracuse.
I wonder if this could be the year for the Bills. We'll have to see. In and out on the jumper by Bell. Offensive rebound is there by Malik Brown.
And that's a guy, Malik Brown, the freshman. He's got a ton of upside, really high ceiling. I think a guy that Coach Boeheim's trying to find more minutes for, because he's a menace on the glass.
And he's been one of the best rebounders of the freshman group, the 6 freshmen there. Here's an alley-oop to Federico.
And what a find Federico has been for Jeff Capel.
Count it.
John Hughley has been out. He was expected to be an all-ACC player. He's been out for Pitt. But what a find in Fede Federico, the transfer from Northern Oklahoma, the JUCO. He plays vertically. He's got tremendous length. He's from Finland, so he's got a Euro flavor to his game. He's a very good passer, very unselfish. He's been good on really both ends.
Edwards on the bucket from Brown. Now it's a 3-ball. Cummings, 6 of 13 from three-point range to the Panthers. And Gerard for Syracuse. They trail it by 12 here. Mintz, they call the foul on Hinson. Now Justin Taylor checking in. Hinson's also going to take a breather for Pitt. And Bell goes out for Syracuse. Taylor. .58% shooting from the field so far for Pitt in this first half. 42% for Syracuse. 6 threes for the Panthers, none for the Orange so far. They're 0 of 6. Fight for that one. It's over to Mintz. Way ahead. I think he wanted Edwards, but it went off the rim. Tracked down. Oh, and what a job by Malik Brown to throw it off of the Panthers and retain the ball for the Orange.
It's a really good play because that possession was almost given away on the errant pass from Mintz. And that's what Malik Brown does. You know, he's always around the basketball. He's not going to give you a whole lot offensively in terms of skill, but he around the rim, he's active on the glass. And, you know, given the minutes or the limited minutes he's played, his rebounding rate is through the roof.
Taking a look at the shot clock here. So they'll look at that. 8 minutes and 14 seconds to play, and we'll tell you about the annual NBA on Christmas Day tradition. Continuing, we got 5 star-studded games coming up on ESPN and ABC. Starts off with the Sixers and the Knicks, and the Lakers and the Mavs. How about the Bucks and the Celtics, the top 2 teams in the NBA right now? Milwaukee 22-8, Boston 22-9. At 8 o'clock and 10:30, 5 games at NBA Christmas Day on ESPN and ABC. Long 3 on the way. It's off by Gerard, and offensive rebound Edwards. Whistle, basket, and a foul for Justin Taylor.
Again, just fighting to keep these possessions alive. And what a finish through contact there by Taylor. You know, that's the one thing. Obviously, he and Buddy Boeheim look a lot alike. I did a double take when you first see him on film. But the big difference is Justin Taylor as a freshman looks like Buddy did as a junior. I mean, he is physically developed.
6'6", 205 out of Charlottesville, Virginia, with the IMG Academy. Talking about number 5 in white for Syracuse. They're within 9. Under 8 minutes to go first half. Hinson's back in, as you saw. Here's the 3-ball. Cummings, and he cannot be stopped so far in this first half. He's hit 4 threes. Gerard trying to counter. And they collapse on Hinson. 3-ball on the way. Elliott not there. saying about Taylor when you're watching him right now. Inside the foul line. Scores it. Ten-point game. Cummings leads all scorers with 12 points for Pittsburgh. Hinson's got 9 off his leg out of bounds. We got a timeout. .6:26 to play in the first half. Panthers lead it by 10 here on the road in Syracuse.
He was at Colgate, back here in a Pitt uniform, and again, that 33% from 3, a product of a slow start to the season. He can shoot. He is wired to score. What a first half.
18 of 37 from three-point range over the last 5 games, or 6 games including tonight. That's 49% from beyond the arc. Mintz is fouled. They call it on Greg Elliott.
I mean, those are silly fouls. Again, and Mintz is very good at getting himself to the foul line, but that's just a foolish play. I mean, he is defended there. If you're Greg Elliott, you don't need to stick a hand in there.
And that'll be foul number 6, so one more 1-and-1 for Syracuse. They're down by 10. Mintz for 3, got it. Big three-pointer. First of the night for Syracuse, 1 for 9.
Has not shot it well. It's been his kryptonite. Teams have defended him that way. I mean, they're going under ball screens and giving him a lot of space, but it's in there. I mean, he's a guy who made shots in high school.
Hinson, tough fadeaway over Edwards, rebounded by Brown. Mintz thought about it, got it down to Edwards. 1-on-1 against Hinson. Here comes the double.
Nice pass.
Yep, Mintz inside. Block on the play, though, as they tried to Brown, and he couldn't convert. Burton. It's been pretty good ball movement here by Pitt on the offensive end. Step back. 3-ball. That's Jorge Diaz-Graham.
Well, it's not even just the ball move, it's the patience. They are allowing these shots to come to them. Open shots. And they're getting it from a number of different guys.
You talked about that earlier being the key. Patience and not turning the ball over. And so far, so good here for Pitt. 3 turnovers each team in this game. Cummings for 3, no good. Edwards, the crowd wants a foul, no call. They're going to get a foul on this one. And shooting the 3, it's Gerard, and he's going to head to the free throw line for 3 free throws.
Another silly foul. And I don't blame Coach Boeheim. There was a foul on the other end. They missed it.
And that would have been a 1-on-1. Yeah. Instead, they're going to get 3 free throws here with Gerard. First points of the night for him from the free throw line.
And that's the other problem with that foul is you allow Gerard to see the ball go in.
And get the crowd going a little bit here as well. 34-27 now. Takeaway. Alley-oop. Can we get it to go?
What a play.
Burton looking for the cutters. Cummings has it with 5 to shoot. Now it's Runner. He's doing everything tonight. And this is going to be an offensive foul here on Syracuse. It's going against Edwards. Pitt 36, Syracuse 27. Timeout here with Pitt coming in. They've won 7 of the last 8. Both teams at 8-4 right now. And I think he's trying to say, hey, who's going to kind of take that step up in conference play and how important these games are right now in November and December.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You know, you're into this league part of the schedule now, and it's, I think if you're Syracuse, a home game against a team that, you know, at least in the early going here, both these teams seemingly on paper look pretty equal. You know, you would assume be vying for that, you know, that middle to upper part of the league, and this is one of those games. If you're Syracuse at home, you can't drop it. If you're Pitt here on the road, you get this, and then right after break, they have Carolina in Pittsburgh. So it's a nice 2-game stretch for them as well.
Going to be home for UNC, Virginia, and then Clemson for the early part of the month of January for Pittsburgh. They lead it with a 3-ball in the way. That's no good by Elliott.
This is with Federico out of the game. This is where Jesse Edwards, I mean, they got to throw him the ball when he's down there. He's got to go to work against Diaz Graham.
Now instead, here's Mintz, and he's off, and Graham's got the rebound.
Give the big fella a touch. Federico's on the bench with 2 fouls. Let Jesse Edwards eat.
Three-ball, Elliott. Bouncing around, Graham with the offensive rebound, going to take it away by Mintz. Mintz into Cummings, who's called for the foul.
He is crafty, and he's very good at that. He's got good length. I think he's going to be very good at the top of this zone for however long he's at Syracuse. You know, it's an interesting dynamic. He originally committed to Pitt, and then obviously had to decommit in order to go to Syracuse.
Yeah, Coach Cable had said that he had watched every single game that he had played. And instead, Mintz now in the orange and having one outstanding start to his freshman season.
Where his shooting numbers from 3 are puzzling because he's a good free throw shooter. I mean, he's shooting almost 80%. It's not like the shot is broken. I think it's just a confidence thing with Judah Mintz right now from 3.
Tonight, 3 of 5. 1 of 2 from three-point range, 2 of 3 at the foul line. He's got 9 points, and that leads Syracuse in scoring. We come up on 2 minutes to play. Jorge Diaz Graham.
It's going to be a player, the freshman from Spain. Spent the year at IMG last year. He's got a twin brother on the team. 6'11", but he plays on the wing. I mean, he is a wing player at that size.
Let's see if they try to go down to Edwards like you're talking about here for Syracuse. Instead, a 3-ball off the mark. Taylor, offensive rebound, Brown. Mintz for 3. Bondi has the rebound for Pitt. Graham, he's fouled. And I believe that's going to be 3 free throws for him now.
You know, this is one area in the zone where Jesse Edwards has really excelled, is coming from that middle part of the zone and contesting those wing shooters. They're just a little too, obviously a little too anxious.
And so now the big guy for Syracuse has 2 fouls. Those are the only 2 fouls that Syracuse has had all half. Minute 33 to play. One more so far, 0 for 2 for Jorge Diaz-Graham. As Quadir Copeland is going to come in. And also Monir Hima. And so Edwards will head to the bench. I think that's a smart move. Don't want to let him get his third with 1:33 to play in the first half.
This is an interesting stretch with Coach Boeheim going to his bench. He makes this here. This goes to 10. Got a minute and a half left. You've got to keep it within striking distance if you're Syracuse and you're playing with mostly bench guys.
And Syracuse has been without a field goal over the last 4.5 minutes. 0 for their last 5. Copeland having a travel there. Instead gets the basket.
I mean, Pitt is not guarding any of these perimeter guys. I mean, they are sloughing off of all of those perimeter guys. A nice job by Copeland taking up that space. It was a little bit awkward, but able to finish.
And that's a turnover. Under a minute to go in the first half. 39-31 Pitt. Mintz. Graham got a piece of it. Wild runner. And it's out of bounds to Pittsburgh. We got a foul. It's on Hima. So you got an 11-second differential here, shot clock, game clock in the first half. Pitt's going to take that use it or lose it timeout here. And Coach Cable's group, who, as you said earlier, has won 3 of the last 4 versus Syracuse. An 8-point lead. We're back in 30 seconds. Back at Syracuse, 37.8 seconds to go in the first half. Mike Corey, Chris Spatola, what do you think here so far? Assessment of what you've seen in the Panthers up by 8.
I think they've executed very well. I think Jeff Capel and his staff have this team prepared to execute against this zone. They're shooting 52% from the field.
And 42% from three-point range. You're right, 8 of 19. Hinson powers his way inside for 2.
Strong. Again, it's all over the floor with Hinson. I mean, he's hit 3s in this game. He shows you that the ability to move on the interior.
He's got 11 for Pitt. 5 seconds left in the first half. Torrance got it. So they got the bucket at the end of the half, but Pittsburgh has been shooting the lights out here tonight. 8 3-pointers in the first half to 1 for Syracuse. Their largest lead is 12. They got an 8-point lead at the half. 41-33 halftime reporters that they need to do tonight.
Yeah, in talking to Pitt's staff, before the game, obviously Edwards was a key, but the guy they really wanted to take out was Joe Girard. They felt like if Joe Girard starts making 3s, it changes the dynamic for Syracuse. And Pitt did what they wanted to do. They took Joe Girard out of that first half.
Yep, just the 3 points, and Hinson picks up where he left off in the first half.
Just really good execution. I mean, Pitt has really executed against that zone and gotten a shot that they wanted.
13 points for Hinson. 3 balls off the mark, and Elliott has it.
And that's been the kryptonite for Pitt, is just silly turnovers. I mean, that's their 7th turnover, and a lot of them just unforced.
Thankful, though, for the hot shooting to be able to build up a lead that they don't become more of a factor. But, you're right. 7 turnovers for Pitt, 5 for Syracuse so far in this game. Second half is underway. Mintz Bell. Oh, wow.
It's tough, high degree of difficulty, and you're still kind of waiting for Jesse Edwards to get a touch. And you can't make a perimeter shot. The defense can really pack it in and make life difficult.
Again, Burton this time for 3 for Pittsburgh. 9 for 20 from three-point range for the Panthers, 45%. Williams back up top, and that's way off by Bell. Elliott for 3. That one's good.
They are really sharing the ball, too. 13 assists, and scoring early is nice. For 3. Boom.
Corey Crispitola back with you here in Syracuse. You turned to me during the break. You're laughing. You said the analysis is starting to become very simple here, Mike.
I mean, look, I went to West Point, but I was by no means a math major. But even I can do this math. If the other team is plus 27 from the three-point line, 10 threes to your 1, you can't win, especially when they're shooting 58% from the field.
That is the game. 1 of 14 from three-point range for Syracuse. 10 of 21 for Pittsburgh. Orange back to work. Williams counted in the foul. Well, that's one way to get 3, if you will, the hard way. And he's got a chance for it at the foul line.
Well, and somebody's got to step up. Because Jesse Edwards can't get a touch, and, they try posting Benny Williams there, and a good finish through the foul. One of these other guys, Gerard, is a non-factor. Judah Mintz had a good first half. He's gone a little bit quiet towards the end of that half, and we haven't heard much. Well, it hasn't been. We had a timeout early in this half, so there hasn't been much of a second half. But, somebody's got to step up, and this is where you wish Jesse Edwards had a little of that dog in him, where he'd start demanding the basketball in the half court.
To your point, I want to focus on him on the next offensive possession for Syracuse and see what's going on there. The foul was on Elliott. Here's an interception, miss. Oh, and he blows the dunk. And it goes right to Hinson. Hinson goes alley-oop, and Federico throws it down. You got the Bills players here in the house. That's like an interception run back for a touchdown when you're trying to score. Should have been 2 the other way, and went 2 for Pittsburgh. Right, that's a 4-point swing.
Yeah, again, simple analysis. I mean, you're in the press, you get what you want, you force a turnover, you got a dunk, and somehow Pitt ends up on the other end with a lob.
Not that really any of the Bills have had interceptions run back for touchdowns. They're having a great season. So Josh Allen over there here tonight, along with Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis and Dawson Knox in the house. Federico was fouled. And Pittsburgh's got the energy, right, in this game here, Chris? I mean, obviously, they're winning, they're playing well, but you can just sense it over there. And Coach Capel leading the charge here with this group up by 13.
I think that's one of the areas where being old and having a lot of new guys is helpful, because you can kind of put away last season. You can have short memories with what last season was for Pitt. And you got a lot of guys who have played a lot of basketball who are super confident. I mean, it started from the jump tonight. Like, they came in firing aggressive, and then once you start making shots, now all of a sudden it lifts the energy of your team.
Chris, Edwards picks up his 3rd personal foul. What do you do here? You got to keep him in?
Yeah, I mean, you have to play him. You're down 14, and it's kind of a breaking point.
All right, let's see if they get him involved. Here he is. Rolling back to the hoop, Gerard pulls up and hits instead. You talked about him at the break. He's held to 3 points at the half. Now long 3. No. Federico, no. Fights for it. Has it again. Whips it away. Syracuse finally, Edwards. Hinson to Edwards. All over him with a double team. Torrance for three. That's great box out by Hinson.
There's a well-executed double by Pitt.
I mean, they're challenging someone else to beat them tonight. And they clamp down on Girard. It hasn't been Edwards. Now Edwards blocks the Hinson three. Trying to get some energy going here on the defensive end.
It's an area where Edwards has excelled in that zone. He has been very good at closing out on corner shooters.
And he does it again on Hinson. And he gets the rebound off a wild shot. The shot clock is at 3. They had to put something up. Edwards is open. Hang on here, 10-point game. Hinson, fouled, and that is going to be Edwards, and that's going to be his 4th.
That's the problem. When you press and he's the back guy, that's a foul he's got to beg off. He's got to be in the game because you need him. The problem is Syracuse pressing to try to get themselves back in this. And Pitt is getting these 2-on-1s down back. They're breaking the press. They're going 2-on-1. And Jesse Edwards is that back line. And, you know, look, you don't want to give up a dunk, but with 3 fouls, you almost want him to beg off that. So that's the decision. You leave Edwards in the game, but you're pressing, and he's your back line, and just puts him in a tough spot.
Well, and he had started to kind of turn it on a little bit in this second half. I know you've been asking to get him the ball, and they finally did. They had an easy bucket, and he had a couple of blocks. But, you know, to your point, now 4 fouls on the bench, still 15:36 to go. And Syracuse is making a little run, too. Now it's a 12-point game. So Monier Hema is in for Syracuse, 55. Hands off Girard. Double team on him. Torrance. And he is fouled.
You know, as well as Pitt has shot it tonight, one of the things that we really haven't mentioned is how well they've defended this year. I think Jeff Capel's done a really nice job with this team's defense. You know, and again, I think it's a product of being old. You know, these guys, they understand concepts. You can do scouting from game to game. They know personnel. Pitt's been a really strong defensive team. Their guards are good on the ball. Fede Federico's been really good in ball screens. He's been good at the front of the rim.
Yeah, and out of the starters, you know, he's like the underclassman. I mean, he's a sophomore. You got Hinson, a junior, but then, you know, to your point, Cummings, graduate student, Elliott, graduate student, Burton, graduate student. Exactly right. And Cummings does it again.
What a night for Cummings.
17 points. He's hit 5 3-pointers. He's 5 of 8. Williams trying to counter, can't do so. And Federico's got the rebound. And you had said it, 5 different players have hit a 3-pointer too. So I mean, it's going for him tonight. Elliott, wow. Syracuse with Williams. And that's kind of the night it's been there. On the flip side, they're not getting the breaks. Hinson for 3. We've got Syracuse's next game over on the ACC network for you New Year's Eve day against Boston College. After the holiday break, coverage of that one begins at 2 Eastern on the ACC Network and, of course, on the ESPN app.
I'll see BC tomorrow night.
That's right.
In Boston, taking on Virginia Tech.
How good is Virginia Tech?
Very good.
I know you like Padula.
Very good.
Yeah.
Sean Padula has been the player of the year in the league to this point.
Brown gets the 2. And it's not just Padula, though, too, right? I mean, Vasily and Mutz. Just well coached under Young. And as we know about the run in the ACC title last year. Driving in. Counts a basket. Foul is called. Burton scores it for the Panthers.
I mean, this is just really good execution again. You've got a guard who puts himself right at that ACC logo, good entry pass, and then he turns, faces, has Munir Hima on him, and goes right by him. And then what a crafty finish.
You got it. Foul is on Brown for Syracuse, his first. And it's now the largest lead of the night, 62-44 for Pitt. Girard for 3. First 3 of the night. He's 1 for 5. He's got 8 points. 5 of those 8 here in the second half. Nine turnovers for Pitt.
Jeff Capel over there barking about pass faking. 2 years ago when Pitt beat Syracuse in Pittsburgh, they pass faked 173 times. I mean, they have really emphasized using the pass fake against this zone. And you can see the product today. I mean, they've had some silly turnovers, that last one being one of them. But they have executed against that zone today.
Copeland knocks down the jumper for Syracuse. And now here comes the press. Cummings got it knocked away. Saved from going out. Mintz, and he's fouled.
This press can be disruptive. And you bring guys in off the bench who give you a little defensive energy. Nice play there to just strip the ball by Brown. And then a good find of the cutting Mintz.
And how about Copeland selling out to get that ball back in bounds? Federico was called for the foul. And Mintz has another as the Orange is down by 13. Remember, all this is with Edwards on the bench with the 4 personal fouls. Hinson trying to take matters into his own hands. He's fouled.
They're just passing over the top. How many times have we seen this against the press? Blake Hinson attacking.
Yep.
And that is a foul.
It is.
Gets him on the arm there.
Body and on the arm. Take your pick. Girard with his first.
Girard, you've got to know you've got size underneath the rim. It's a silly reach at the end of that play.
I mean, right? You can see Coach Boeheim pass the ball. Back on the other end. 64-50. Girard. Tough shot that time. Under 12 minutes to go in this game. that pass into Hinson from Elliott. Mintz the other way. Cummings quieting the crowd again.
That's a big shot. It's getting hot in here. Take the Band-Aid off. I mean, not only is he shooting it well, he's 6 of 9, 7 of 10 from the field. Of course, went to school at Colgate, about 50 miles down the road. He is feeling it, got some of his boys in the building. And you got to feel good for Nelly Cummings. And there they are, Colgate Nation. Stand up.
Yeah, they're here tonight at Syracuse, watching their former teammate play. And he's been outstanding. Look at that, 20 points here tonight. 17 for Hinson as well for Pittsburgh. Top scorers in this game, and a block inside by Hinson. Rebounding advantage as well in this one. 31-18 in favor of Pitt. Make it 32. Hinson got free for 3 again. What is happening? How do they get all these wide open looks here tonight?
They move the ball, and look, I mean, that's the zone will give you open shots if you execute. The other thing too, Mike, like we always talk about how making shots can energize your own defense. It can also demoralize the opponent. Like when the other team is raining threes, it can just sap your energy. And it's coming from all over the place tonight for Pitt.
Yeah, and right on cue. Hinson does it again. And you know what? If you go on the far sideline, you got Jeff Capel, of course, head coach, his brother Jason Capel. I remember doing some broadcasts as this ball goes inside, easy two by Hema. And we got a foul before that. His brother Jason Capel, okay, I remember him telling me one time, it's kind of like to your point, he says his liner was, the more you make, the more you make. And it's basically kind of what you're saying, like you're feeling it, and that's just kind of like what's happening here with Pitt tonight.
Wait, so Jason Capel came up with that? The more you make, the more you make? Was his...
That's what he said. I remember on one broadcast, yeah.
I mean, I'm going to have to ask him about that. That seems pretty simplistic.
The more you make.
He's great. I love the Capel family. Tim O'Toole, who did a couple tours here for Coach Boeheim. Also on Jeff Capel's staff. He's got a terrific staff, and they have done an outstanding job with this group this year.
Well, Jeff told us earlier, when they arrived in 2018, 2019 at Pitt, he said, you got to bring in people you trust. And who more do I trust than my brother, Jason, who's been there on the staff with him. We were talking earlier about his days back at VCU, where he got all those things started there with those great teams back in 2002 to 2006. And, you take a look at, what he's done and his career as father.
Well, his dad, God rest his soul, his dad was a legend. The city of Fayetteville there in North Carolina and all the stops along the way. It is a basketball family.
Foul is on Girard, and I'm going to tell you here, the fans are going to say, hey, but I've seen some of these calls this season about the cylinder, right? You're in the space, and I've even seen the offensive player elbow a guy, right? But if you're in the cylinder, if you're in the space, it's going to be a foul on the defensive player. So, that's the correct call. He's right up on him. .72-54. Now Girard wants to go to work as he bombs up a three, and Hinson has yet another rebound. He's got 12 tonight, along with 22 points. Hinson gathers, and he didn't have the angle. Edwards back in for Syracuse. And he throws it away, and now Mintz is called for the foul. And it's free throw time here for the rest of the night for Pittsburgh. That's the 8th team foul for Syracuse. 9:13 remaining. The lead is 18. Now, what about these guys? Jorge Diaz-Graham is at the free throw line. His brother, Guillermo Diaz-Graham, both from Spain. The two freshmen here for this Pitt team. What do you think?
I think they have really high ceilings. I mean, they're both 6'11". Guillermo's, I think they list him at 7 feet tall, but they have guard skills. You know, their numbers don't show you that they can shoot it, but especially Jorge can really shoot it.
Mintz. And they try to get another steal here on the press. And a timeout is taken by Pittsburgh.
Yeah, smart by Blake Hinson.
So we'll take a timeout with him. 8 minutes and 50 seconds left in the contest. Panthers by 16. Welcome back, 73-57 here. And here's your combination tonight, Cummings and Hinson.
Yeah, what a night. Blake Hinson's hard to deal with, you know, and he plays that 4. And so a lot of times he's getting a good matchup. I mean, he's got a double-double here tonight. He's been all over the glass. He's been everywhere. You know, he's made threes. He's posted. He's been in the paint. He's got 12 rebounds, 4 assists. Just a heck of a night.
You're right. Been to the free throw line as well. 4 of 5 there. And now on the take to the rack. Doesn't go that time for Burton. Syracuse with plenty of time here. Mintz for 3. Edwards offensive rebound. And Gerard hits. That's a 2. Elliott Hinson from Elliott. Heads up.
When they haven't turned it over against the press, Pitt has attacked it to score, and they have lived off those 2-on-1s down back.
Trying to feed it inside to the post, and it's taken away. Jorge Diaz-Graham that time for Pittsburgh. You feel like every time Syracuse is trying to make a little bit of a run here and they get the crowd into it, yeah, and you look up and it's still a 16-point game. I mean, they flirted with single digits for a moment, and then Pittsburgh has just kept them at bay here. And that is going to stay with the Panthers. Another timeout. 7:25 to go, and Pittsburgh still well in command of this one.
Hinson was Pitt's leading scorer. He was their leading rebounder. He's been their leader all year. He's been their best player, and he has been that tonight. I mean, he's a Swiss Army knife. Does a lot of different things. I mean, the number of areas where he's catching it and finishing, it's all over the floor. 9 of 18. He's got 12 rebounds, 4 assists. He's also blocked 2 shots. He has had an outstanding start to the season, and like I was saying, Mike, he's a tough matchup because he's got that big body at 235 pounds, and so, but he gets a matchup. You know, he's guarded by 4s, and he gets that matchup.
It's an excellent point. I mean, he's so athletic, and he's done so much here tonight in this season. His season and career high is 27, which he had in Game 1 of this year versus UT Martin. Nice job to stick with this one by Malik Brown for the bucket. 3-ball Cummings. I don't even know how they left him that wide open. And the offensive rebound by Grant. Nice job there by Mintz. And Syracuse will have it. Mintz finishes and count the bucket. Chance for the three-point play.
Mintz is really active at the top of that zone. He's fantastic. He's got really good anticipation, good pair of hands. And then we talked a lot in the first half about his ability to finish at the rim. Such a crafty finisher.
Hinson was called for a second personal foul. Syracuse, they need these free throws. They're now 10 of 15 from the free throw line. I'm going to ask you now, how do they break through this mark, right? Down 12. They haven't been able to do so much tonight.
Well, any comeback starts with stops. I mean, they have to keep... You know what I'm saying? I mean, they've got to be able to keep Pitt from scoring, and they just haven't been able to do it all night. There's another... If it's not threes, it's penetrating against that zone and a tough finish.
And that was Elliott, and Mintz is fouled, and they're going to call it on Cummings. And free throws coming. All right, coming up tomorrow, got Michigan and UNC. Don't miss out on that matchup. Coverage is going to begin at 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN and the app. Got UNC at 8-4 in the season. Michigan at 7-3. That's our college basketball matchup tomorrow at 7 on ESPN.
You also got to make free throws. You want to come back in a game, you got to make free throws.
Hinson, no, they're going to call him for the foul on the clear out that time as Mintz hit the deck hard. Let's hope he's okay. Hinson's going to pick up his third foul. That is his fourth, actually. So 4 on Hinson. Let's go back and look at the last play here. Yep, they're taking a look at to see whether that's going to be upgraded to a flagrant 1. So a regular foul was the call in the court. Hinson has 4, Cummings has 4, and Federico has 4. So all of a sudden, Pittsburgh in this foul trouble situation here, and this potentially could get upgraded to a flagrant 1 personal foul on Hinson. That would be 2 shots in the ball for Syracuse if they deem that to be the case. 5:49 to go, and it's a 13-point lead for Pittsburgh as Ron Groover, Tim Clockerty, and Tommy Morrissey are taking a look at the monitor here.
Yeah, I think that meets the threshold of an F1. And, I mean, look, he doesn't know that Mintz's face is there, but, you know, you extend that arm, and if there's contact, unnecessary contact to the head, they have typically called that an F1.
Correct. And that's the point. We were talking about that earlier. Intent has nothing to do with it. It doesn't matter whether you meant to do it or not. If it happens, it's called, and we're going to wait and see what they say here. And is it egregious enough? That's the thing. Tommy Morrissey's going to come talk to us about it. They're going to keep it a common foul.
There you go.
All right.
Said he didn't seek him out. He didn't see him.
So the 17th foul on Pitt, 1-1. Mintz hits the first. Looking for his 20th point. He has it. So all of a sudden, he's got 20. Gerard's got 10 after only 3 in the first half. The lead is 11. The press is on. And a foul's called. It's on Syracuse and Gerard. Let's see that again.
Yeah, man, I think that's a foul. He gets into his legs. Cummings had a jump on the ball.
I agree with you. I mean, he undercut him. I mean, that's,
the interesting thing, Jeff Capel keeping Federico and Hinson both with 4 fouls on the floor. So he's riding those guys.
back to a 13-point lead. Pitt led by 20 at 72-52 with 10:45 remaining. Mintz hoists it up. He's fouled again, and he just does an awesome job at creating and drawing contact, which he does yet again.
And that's
Federico.
5. Yeah, that's 5 on Federico.
You think it's just the kind of two schools of thought there, hey, let's just keep them in, let's try to keep our lead, let's preserve it as long as we can. Or if you take them out, all of a sudden they make a comeback, you know what I mean? So he goes with the first part, and now Federico's done.
Yeah, I think it comes down to knowing your guys. I mean, I think if you're Jeff Capel, like you said, you've got a double-digit lead. You're playing this to get this down to last couple of minutes of the game. The other school of thought is you take them out, you get to that TV timeout, and you put them back in.
Which they'll get in another minute and a half, because we still have 5.5 to go. The lead is 11. It's been almost cut in half in the last 5.5 minutes. Shot clock. Get it inside. Burton, he's rejected. Graham's got it. He's rejected by Edwards. And it's a shot clock violation.
I mean, this is big time. What a block here by Copeland to come from that bottom wing position, and then the return block by Jesse Edwards. Chance to cut this to single digits.
Copeland, crossover, step back, 3, fouled, and he got it.
About this exchange for Kadir Copeland. Block on one end. And a made 3 and 1 on the other.
And he converts the free throw, and it's a 7-point game. A 4-point play to cut it to single digits. And here comes Burton for Hinson. Burton got it back. And we got a foul. Graham got hit on the head. Crowd wanted to travel before that. Crazy sequence. Graham is shaken up.
Yeah, that's a travel. They missed the travel, and that is a foul. So they got the second call. They missed the first.
I mean, that's a tough one, right? I agree with you. I think kind of a travel, but then he gets clocked in the head. So that's a bang-bang play for sure. Now Graham is at the line, and he has a double bonus, so he's got 2 free throws here, and it's 80-72. Jorge Diaz-Graham, 3 of 6 at the free throw line for Pitt tonight. Make it 4 of 7. Much of the crowd on their feet here tonight inside the Dome in Syracuse. Gerard back to Mintz for three. And Elliott has it.
That's the shot Pitt's been willing to live with. They're giving Judah Mintz that shot.
Hinson, 8 to shoot. Cummings bounces it to Burton. Needs to put it up, and does. Rebound by Graham. And 20 on the shot clock. Burton again inside. Trying to fight through traffic. Blocked inside by Edwards. Big defensive stand by Syracuse. Mintz for Edwards. Wild double team in there, and it's knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with Syracuse. Brown had a chance at it, and it'll be orange ball when we come back. 3:32 remaining. It's a 9-point game.
Over the last couple minutes, a couple turnovers in that zone, but it's really been the rim protection. Shots at that basket block. There's that Copeland block followed up by Edwards. Syracuse 6th in the country this year in block percentage. So, Mike, it's been a strength, and it has come alive here over the last couple minutes.
It really has. 8 to 3 in blocks, 8 to 3 in steals. They've cut the lead finally into single digits here, 81 to 72. And you got both teams in a double bonus. Possession arrow favors Syracuse if we get a jump. Remember, they have only one timeout remaining. Pitt also one timeout now at this point. Here's a three ball. Copeland in and out. Hinson had the rebound for the moment. It got tapped to Cummings.
It's a big possession out of a timeout. Stretching the zone here a little bit. Extending it.
No field goals in the last 3 minutes and 20 seconds now for Pitt. Cummings. Hinson, 3 to shoot. And that was good defense by Brown on the closeout. Mintz works it into Edwards. Offensive board. Edwards gets it back. He's blocked by Graham. Shot clock still at 10. Mintz pulls up. Got it.
Tough shot.
.24 points for Mintz. 7-point game. 2 minutes remaining. Graham's pass intercepted. Down low by Brown and knock it away. Gerard for three. And it's still Pittsburgh ball. Copeland knocked it out. Gerard with 10 points in this second half.
Jeff Capel is trying. He's only got one timeout, so he's trying to keep it in pocket. They need to calm down. I mean, this defense from Syracuse has been so disruptive.
And the scoring drought continues here. They're 0 for their last 6 from the field. Burton. Elliott. Blocked by Copeland and a foul.
Tell you what, Copeland in there has changed Syracuse's defense. That and the two guards up top, Gerard and Mintz, have been very active. Their hands have been very disruptive. Copeland comes over here. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be called a foul. You know, he comes down with his arms a little bit. I thought he met him. But those hands coming down, it's a foul.
A lot of contact, too. Body contact as well. Elliott trying to make it a 6-point game. He does.
This is a big possession here if you're Syracuse. You've got to come away with points here.
Gerard finds Brown, powers his way in. He's fouled. And has a chance to get the 2 here at the line with the clock stopped with 1 minute remaining.
Those freshmen, I'll tell you what, those freshmen for Syracuse, Copeland and Brown off the bench have made an impact. Obviously, Mintz has been tough.
Boy, the second conference game of the season for both teams doesn't feel like that, does it?
It's a big miss at the line.
It really is. Syracuse. Another one. Cope with the offensive rebound. Count it. Back to a 4-point game. Graham. Cross court for Hinson. Elliott, did he step out? He did.
You know, this is where Pitt doesn't really have a point guard. You know, Nelly Cummings is not a point guard. And nobody to come get the ball and calm this team down. And yeah, I mean, he's out of bounds. Good call by the official. And Pitt is just flustered.
They are trying to hang on here in this one. They've led by as many as 20. That was at 10:45 remaining. It was 72-52. Gerard for 3. Oh, no way! One-point game. 30 seconds left. 19 to shoot for Pittsburgh. Elliott's got it. Burton, that is an offensive.
And again, Jeff Capel keeping the timeout in his pocket. Decided to let his team play through that there. And that's a good call. That's a really good take there by Judah Mintz. Slides his feet, stays in legal guarding position. The off arm there by Burton sells the call. Wow. How about Joe Girard? Had 3 at the half. And we said he was going to have a big second half. He's got 16. And, you know, look, you're playing from behind, and those shots come a little bit more loosely. You can kind of let it fly. Wow. Some big ones.
You had talked about it at the half. They were playing solid defense. It was one of their keys and points of emphasis. He was 0 for 3 from the field with 3 total points. And you just said it. Now he's got 16, 13 in the second half. He's hit 3 threes. And now it's Syracuse possession, down by 1 with 17.4. What do you got, Chris?
I think you got Joe Girard. I mean, at the very least, you get him coming off. And then, you know, they've been able to hit, if it's Copeland, if it's Brown, somebody at that foul line area. And honestly, their best offense has been just getting the ball up on the glass and allowing those guys to go get the offensive rebound.
They've had 15 second chance points in this game, to your point right there. That's very well taken. Only 4 for Pittsburgh. And if you're Pitt, coming out of this timeout here, what's got to be going through your mind after you've really led comfortably this entire game and now you're in danger of losing it?
Comes down to getting a stop, comes down to possessing the defensive rebound. And again, they have a timeout in their pocket. So you know that going in.
The way Girard goes, the way this team goes, especially here in this second half. It's 83-82. Pittsburgh by 1. They have 1 timeout remaining. Syracuse is out of timeouts. Orange possession, 15 seconds. Here we go. Judah Mintz, 24 tonight for the Orange. 8 to shoot. Oh, it's intercepted by Hinson. He wanted to go down to Edwards, and Hinson picks it off, and he's fouled.
He read it the whole way. Blake Hinson read it the whole way, and he was shading over.
And Edwards has fouled out. Dave Davis and Stephon Diggs and the Buffalo Bills. And they're trying to diagram something over there. Hinson. 2 shots.
This one's got to go to, you don't have a timeout if you're Syracuse. This has got to put the ball in Judah Mintz's hands. He's got to attack the rim, get it up on the glass.
Jeff Cable just said that Tim Clockerty, he makes us want a timeout, and he's got it. All right, so Pittsburgh has used their final timeout. They lead by 2, 6 seconds remaining. Here we go again, Chris.
Man. You know, when you play, and we've seen this with Syracuse, man, when they play from behind, they throw on that press. And when you're Pitt, you're almost playing not to lose. When you're up that much, you're playing not to lose. They got a little casual with the ball. And all of a sudden now, Syracuse has momentum. And we said coming in, the one thing Pitt wanted to do with Syracuse is take Joe Girard out of the game. They said if he starts making threes, it changes the dynamic. And that is exactly what's happened over the last 10 minutes of this half. Joe Girard making shots has changed the dynamic. Those 2 freshmen, Brown and Copeland, off the bench has changed the dynamic. It brought a different energy to this Syracuse team. And right now, this comes down to Judah Mintz with the ball in his hands, doing his creation, doing what he does best, getting into the paint, get that ball up on the glass. And you got to have everybody in Syracuse, from Syracuse, attacking the offensive glass.
So Mintz, who had 9 points in the first half, 15 here in the second half, got 24 for the game. That's a team high. Hinson with 25 for Pittsburgh. That's the lead all scorers in this game. 6 seconds to go. Here we go. Syracuse ball down by 2. No timeouts remaining for either team. Mintz has got it. Mintz for 3. No, rebound, Copeland, he had a chance at it. It doesn't go, and that's the end of the game, and Pittsburgh hangs on 84-82 and have defeated the Orange here in Syracuse tonight.
That can't be the shot you want. I mean, if you're Judah Mintz, and Pitt does a nice job. Give them credit. They corralled the ball. They knew it was going to be Mintz. They've got 2 guys here just making life hard. But you got to find an angle, and you've got to put your head down and get that thing into the paint. And just not enough time for the offensive rebound.
Pittsburgh has won 4 of the last 5 versus Syracuse in the last 2 out of 3 here in the Dome. Big win for them. They've won 8 of their last 9.